Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right, getting right into it. I had this video queued up, which is the thumbnail for this live. I've been wanting to get to this for the past few days or whatnot, because just me speaking as a man, because of course I don't know, I don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, what's going to happen, but we know something's coming that's going to change everything. All right, and that's why I put it in the title as far as the black swan events. All right, and I put in parentheses with the S at the end. All right, let me start off with this real quick. Which, the spirit has been on brothers to really, well, just in general, because even outside of brothers, just in general, a lot of these economic forecasters and whatnot, let me get this real quick. Before I grab this, I'm going to get this. In Ecclesiastes chapter 12, Ecclesiastes 12:3. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out the windows be darkened. And when you go into this word real quick, bear with me. Because of course, the word, because like I said, the keepers of the house, which of course the house goes into the Hebrew word bayath, right? So basically, man, when you go to the word keep or keepers, basically these economists, pretty much, so to say, because just like how we are watchmen, we are watchmen, all right, as far as the prophecies and things of that nature, because that's the thing, the spirit of prophecy is out there. All right, everyone's talking about prophecy. That is the hot topic. Prophecy is the hot topic, but the difference is these people, they can't put the picture, they can't connect the dots, they can't figure out why this is happening, why such and such is taking place. And so all they could do is tell you to prepare. All right, prepare, buy up guns, ammo, food, stack up a gold and this and that. Well, because the writing is on the wall at the end of the day. All right, and as I've been talking about, pretty much for the past year, just as far as that anticipation, because it's to a point now where everyone is for the most part feeling like something's getting ready to happen. All right, everyone has this feeling of anticipation, like something's getting ready to happen. Even my demon, my little Satan, she's been telling me how she can't really sleep because she's just telling me like she just feels like something's about to happen. She said she pretty much, she just feels something in her spirit that something's about to happen. You know, so these people, they you know, they know something's getting ready to happen. All right. And like I was mentioning with these economists, all right, which is why I read that Ecclesiastes 12 and 3 again, you know, which is why I read Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. All right, the keepers of the house shall tremble, because all year, and especially the past few months of so-called 2023, you know, we are officially in the so-called new year. All right, 2024. But a lot of these economists, experts, and whatnot, you know, these watchmen for the economy, so to say. Because like I was saying before, the difference between the true watchmen, all right, you know, is that we're able to connect the dots. We're able to you know, tell people why this is happening and what's coming. You know, that is the job of a prophet. You know, that's what a prophet means, to just say before. But like I said, these people, they can't connect the dots, and all they can do is tell you to prep. Because like I said, man, the writing is on the wall. Shit is getting ready to hit the fan. All right, something's coming. All right. Now, before I get into this video that I want to play, I want to read this in Amos chapter 2. I'm probably going to be bringing this out more and more. All right, because again, something's coming. These so-called economists, experts, and whatnot, they see it, and all they can do is tell you. All they can do is tell you to prep. All right, but there's no amount of, when it comes to stacking up on gold, silver, food, guns, ammo, and things of that nature. There's no amount of prepping carnally that you can do to prepare for what's coming. All right. You know, the scriptures talk about how no one's going to be able to escape judgment except the elect. Unless you're written in that book of life, no one's going to be able to escape judgment. All right. So as far as prepping, all right, food, guns, ammo, and gold, silver, right? Well, Amos 2 in verse starting at 14. Therefore the flight shall perish from the swift, and the strong shall not strengthen his force, neither shall the mighty deliver himself. Neither shall he stand that handleth the bow, and he that is swift of foot shall not deliver himself. Because you see, listen, again, all these preppers, hey, when this happens, you know, and that's funny because like I said, the thumbnail for this live, you know, is this guy Patrick Humphrey, and he's one of those guys that, you know, hey, I think he's one of those guys that actually has an RV, and, you know, one of those preppers. All right, and when shit hits the fan, and, you know, we're gonna go to such and such, and, you know, well, listen, like I said, because we don't know what we're gonna be doing, we don't know where we're gonna be. You know, that day is gonna catch us. Well, it's gonna catch these people like a thief in the night. You know, so you don't know what you're going to be doing in that time. You might not make it to that RV. You know, you might not make it to that bunker. You know, that's the whole point. Because again, all these prepping, which I believe, you know, the Lord has had happening to where all these preppers, man, because these some of these guys, they have basically enough essentials to last months. But other guys, they have essentials to last years, you know. And I believe that a lot of the Lord is happening to where these guys, man, they're just basically saving that up for us. Lord, want to wear that number, you know, because hey, at this point, we're ready to be pilgrims. We're ready to be on the move. You know, we're ready to let this shit go. You see. So again, in verse 15, neither shall he stand that handleth the bow, and he that is swift of foot shall not deliver himself. Neither shall he that rideth the horse deliver himself. And he that is courageous among the mighty shall flee away naked in that day, saith the Lord. So that's the whole point. All right. Again, there's no amount of prepping. You know, no matter what you do, no matter how much guns you buy, no matter how many, you know, gallons of gas you got saved up somewhere, you know, just in case, you know, you got to pack up and drive to you know, your I don't know, you know, your cabin in the woods or whatever. None of that shit's gonna mean anything. All as far as all the prepping and preparation. All right, it's not going to mean nothing. It's not going to do these people, these so-called preppers, any good. All right, it's not going to do them any good. You see, but nevertheless, the point being that they know something's coming. All right, they know something's coming. All these preppers, these economists, you know, all these people, man. And over the past few months, you know, all throughout 2023, and especially within the past few months of 2023, you know, they've really been, you know, hey, something's coming. You know, something's coming, man. Hey, get ready. You know. So oh, I was gonna get this. Because something is coming. We don't know what it is. We don't know how it's gonna play out. We don't know when it's gonna play out. But something, a series of events, and that's why again I put it in parentheses. All right. You know, the black swan events, you know. What was I gonna get? I was gonna get this. Because again, something's coming that's going to change life as we know it. And it's not going to be for the better. You know? Matter of fact, before I get that, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. Bear with me. That's Romans. Oh, I'm sorry. I was at Romans 12. It's Romans 13. Romans 13. Romans 13 and 12. It says, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. All right, man. Because, hey, again, it's time to put on the full armor of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, get thee ready to thy battle. All right. Like I said, you know, because, and of course, it's easier said than done because society is still intact. And we don't know what we're going to do when that time comes, but it's about to be a complete dystopian environment out here, you know. Perilous times, very extremely harsh, hard, difficult, bad times are coming. You know. But hey, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be our guide. You know, because you gotta just, I always say, you gotta imagine, man, you know, what did Ezra see for him to woe is me, for him to make that statement? Well, what did he see? All the prophets of old, when they seen these end time visions, you gotta ask yourself, what did they see to the point where they, some of them got sick, you know, physically ill, you know, and they were just pretty much jacked up, you know. But nevertheless, because it said the night is far spent, you see, wickedness is played out, as I've been saying, you know, wickedness is played out. All right. You know, it tells you in the second Esdras how the day of doom, roughly paraphrasing, has to come. But after that takes place, immortality, you know, because we have to go through this last stretch. We have to go through this final stretch. It's going to usher in the second coming of Yahweh Shai. So these things have to happen. You know, so I'll say all right to say when it comes to the destruction and what's getting ready to happen and just being in this dystopian environment, I'll just say all that to say, hey, fret not, because, hey, again, the Lord is going to be our guide. Like I said, we're ready to let the shit go. We're ready to leave this shit behind. You know, But these people, hey, it's going to catch them like a thief in the night, man. They have no idea. You know, they have no idea what's getting ready to happen. But something's coming. Something's getting ready to happen. And the Apostle Tahar, hey, the theme of this year, the hopeful year that Jacob's trouble, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. You know, because like I was saying, with all the information that's been coming out over the past few months, all throughout the past year, you know, because like I've said, you know, ever since this crisis, quote unquote, back in 2020 took place, it set up the events for 2022. All right. And likewise, I'm sorry, for 2021, and likewise, the events of 2021 set up the events for 2022, and so on and so forth up to this point. And it's like everything that's been going on over the past few years. All right, you know, hey, it's we've got to be at the tipping point. The tipping point in prophecy, man. This boiling pot is about to spill over. You know, because again, everything that's been going on just within 2023 alone, man, it's the 2024. We can see it. It's going to be one hell of a year, one hell of a year. But Lord willing, you know. But I was going to get this, and I'll go ahead and play this video because something's getting ready to happen. Something's going to happen again. Don't know what it is. Don't know when, how, where, who, what, why. We just don't know. But we know Yahweh Bashem Shai is. All right, he exists. And that's all we need to know, quite frankly. But 1 Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. So, hey, life as we know it, like I said, is about to change. And it's about to be a very dystopian future, a very dystopian setting, environment here in Babylon. It says, be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. All right, so be ready. Like brothers say, we stay ready, so we don't have to be ready, because we know that at any moment this thing could, anything can happen at any given second. You know, that's what I was saying earlier. Like as far as the prepping, and man, like I said, man, these people, they don't know that they're just saving all those essentials up for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. I have it sped up a little bit. Hopefully you can hear it. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch it yourself. But I just found this rather interesting. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this video. It says, urgent. National Guard gives terrifying warning. Get away now. So, and I got to sped up because the video is roughly 15 minutes and I do want to get through it all. So here we go.
This is major breaking news. The National Guard is preparing for a major radiological disaster inside the United States on U.S. soil. The National Guard is getting prepared for that right now, and they just made a major step in getting ready for that, and you should be getting ready too, right? This is one of multiple warning signs that the National Guard has flashed that they're getting ready for a major disaster inside the U.S., and this confirms it. They just had a major purchase order of equipment, and you need to be looking into this as well. You need to be getting stocked up as well. And I want you to listen to something really quick too that kind of just sets the stage for all this, because they're warning us that something big is going to happen in 2024, and we have mainstream CBS News reporters coming out and warning of this as well, right? I want you to listen to this really quick, and then we will hit this National Guard news as well, because this is all related, and we are going to see big things happen in 2024. So I want you to listen to this.
Oh, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that, and not only this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine, and we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before, and I think that just creates fertile ground for adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran, and that's what concerns me most.
All right, so that was on
And, a lot of things come to mind, especially when it comes to this movie, Leave the World Behind, which is becoming bit of a phenomenon right now. You know, that's everyone's talking about that movie because of all the spiritual gems. You know, and there's a particular scene where one of the characters was talking about, and you know, I've said this before, as far as the Obama productions, you know, they were behind producing this movie. It came out that a lot of people that were involved with this project, how they were terrified. You know, a lot of those people, they were scared because of just how relative, you know, a lot of those, which some brothers say, because you know, some of these movies, they're not movies, they're documentaries, you know, and this was apparently just another documentary because of just how relative it is to real life events, you know, because if you're paying attention, especially overseas, you know, long story short, America more and more is being isolated. You know, America more and more is being separated. All right, more and more, you know, America's allies are turning on America. You know, there's a lot of prophetic things going on. Man. Like I said, too much to speak on, you know, but just for time's sake, we'll go ahead and play some more of this.
CBS News just the other day.
Oh yeah, I was gonna make the point, because now they're talking about certain things on the mainstream media. All right, and you know, if they're talking about certain things on certain information, if they speak on certain information on the mainstream media, oh yeah, you know, oh yeah, shit is getting real. And they're talking about a Black Swan event on the mainstream media. Yeah, this shit is about to get real.
Haven't seen before, and I think that just creates fertile ground for adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran, and that's what concerns me most.
All right, so that was on CBS News just the other day. This was Catherine Herridge, and she has deep connections to intelligence agencies and inside the government, and she is warning on CBS News, Face the Nation, one of their biggest shows. She is saying that a Black Swan event, a quote Black Swan event, is coming. And if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you've probably heard me say that they have been warning of this all year. Okay, Klaus Schwab was at the World Government Summit earlier. That's exactly what it's called, the World Government Summit. It was over in the Middle East. I think it was in the UAE, I believe. And it was just earlier this year, and he was warning all the world leaders there that there's going to be a Black Swan event. He's saying, get prepared for the Black Swan right now. That's what Klaus Schwab was warning at the World Government Summit. They're telling us what they're doing. It's called World Government Summit. They're trying to establish a new world government in the aftermath of a major crisis and disaster. And if you put that together with what the National Guard is doing, this is very serious, and we need to be getting prepared. You need to be getting stocked up, and you need to be prepared to potentially shelter in place for months. Right? I was reading the procedures and protocol of what they would do in an event like this, and essentially you could be under a shelter-in-place order for months, not allowed to leave your home, and being forced to stay inside for a few months if something like this happens. All right, and the National Guard is getting ready for this. So you can see here, Stimrad Inc.'s $4.5 million contract to provide protective equipment for the National Guard. It says Stimrad, a leader in personal radiation protection solutions, announced today that it has been awarded $4.5 million by the U.S. General Services Administration on behalf of the National Guard Bureau to provide radiation protection equipment for soldiers and airmen. You can see here that the $4.5 million contract, which was funded by the National Guard and Reserve equipment accounts, is for a total of 630 belts and on-site training at the Consequence Management Support Center in Lexington, Kentucky. When requested, the National Guard supports civil authorities in mitigating domestic radiological incidents, whether they are intentional acts such as a dirty bomb or accidental that could include a nuclear reactor meltdown. All right, so they just ordered 630 radiation belts and radiation protective equipment for the National Guard, and they are doing on-site training and radioactive disaster training in Lexington, Kentucky right now. All right, that's what the National Guard just ordered this, and these are radiation belts that protect your vital organs, and specifically your bone marrow and your hips and your legs and the center of your body. Specifically, they're like big belts, like big wrestling belts or something, big back brace belts, okay, that have protective layers to protect you from gamma ray radiation, and they're saying that that's the most vulnerable parts of your body, and it also includes masks as well, right? So this is very serious, and this is the National Guard. They only operate domestically inside the U.S., and just a few months ago, the National Guard as well ran an entire drill in a Iowa stadium preparing for a radiological biological disaster. They had the hazmat suits out and everything in a major, it was a football stadium in Iowa. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head. I'll link that video down below. I made a whole video on that, and they are getting ready for something that was just a couple months ago, and now they're ordering 600 plus radiation belts and radiation protective equipment in case of a disaster. If something like this were to happen, protocol is to be under a shelter in place order for potentially up to months until they are able to declare this area safe, okay? And within the first few weeks, most of the gamma ray radiation would clear out, right? Most of the most dangerous and powerful radiation would be cleared and be decayed in this area, right? But the shelter in place order could go on for prolonged periods of time if there's a ongoing nuclear reactor meltdown, right? Look at Fukushima when the tsunami hit it. Look at how long it took for them to clean it up, and they are honestly still kind of dealing with this situation. And we could have a nuclear reactor meltdown if there's a cyber attack on a power plant, okay, if they're able to get control. And I've made multiple videos of how CISA has been warning that our critical infrastructure is being targeted with these cyber attacks, and they're using day one exploits, and specifically things like logic controllers, internal logic controllers inside of their systems are being exploited right now, right? And they have been exploited. That's how they got control of all the water systems. You remember that a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, dozens of different water systems in the US were under a major cyber attack and had their systems infiltrated, right? And it was one or two of them actually had disruptions from this as well to their water, right? And they could also be adding things to the water. They're adding chemicals to the water to, quote, purify it, right? And to make it clean, right? That's a whole other issue. Adding fluoride, adding these toxic chemicals to the water, but somebody could get into these systems and add even more, right? This actually happened in Oldsmar, Florida a few years ago. Somebody was able to get into the systems and try to add lye, right? Which could be blinding, could burn your skin, burn your eyes if it gets in your eyes, right? So this stuff is happening right now, and if they're able to get into a nuclear reactor, a power plant, and take it over and override the systems, then we could see even an explosion from one of these reactors, right? It could be like a dirty bomb going off just from having a cyber attack on one of these reactors. And this is on top of the border being wide open as well, and there could be material being brought into the country covertly and unaccounted for, right? These things could be happening right now on top of these cells being brought in as well that could potentially do these jobs, right? This is a
So basically, all in all, which also takes me back to the movie Leave the World Behind, because they showed this in the movie at the, you know, towards the end, you know, where, and this is said speculation as well, you know, what they've been talking about throughout the past year, as far as in the event of, you know, pocket nukes going off, things of that sort, you know, with all the like he was mentioning, you know, with all these equipments and pills to protect against the radiation and things of that nature. So to protect against the radiation, you know, from nuclear explosion and explosion and things of that nature, right? You know, because going back to even what Klaus Schwab said, you know, hey, this next crisis is going to make 2020 look like basically a walk into Disneyland, man. You know, something's coming to that's really going to, like I said, change life as we know it. It's going to shake the foundation of Babylon. You know, and that's this isn't even to mention the cyber attacks and just the complete collapse of this economy. You know, it just came out about was that Russia and Iran officially ditching the dollar, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and it's today being January 1st, I'm still on the lookout. You know, I'm still trying to just keep my eye on this. But as far as the BRICS currency going online, it was supposed to be today. It's supposed to be going online today, January 1st. You know, so that's not even to mention all these other things. Like I said, with the collapse of the dollar, cyber attack, a major cyber attack, you know, and other things, you know. Hey, nuclear devastation, that will be one hell of a black swan event, if you ask me. If you don't know what a black swan event is, just hey, 9/11, that was a black swan event. You know, 2020, though, that whole crisis situation, that was a black swan event. You know, so this is what's in the talks right now. All right, and like I said, because they showed this in the movie, Leave the World Behind. All right, nukes going off in the city. You see, but I'm gonna play some more of this.
Very serious situation. The National Guard is getting ready for it. They're doing drills. They're training in Kentucky, and now they just ordered 600 belts. Okay, U.S. senators, they ordered sat phones just a few months ago.
That came out. Yeah, that was some months ago, sometime last year. Giving out these sat phones. Yeah, they've been prepping, planning something.
A year ago now, the U.S. also ordered a ton of radiation sickness medicine. I made a whole video on that. That was probably last year now, going on, late last year, where the U.S. ordered a ton of radiation sickness medicine for their national stockpiles. All right, so something big is happening. 2024 is going to be a very big and dramatic year, and they're going to pull out all the cards for it. And you need to be getting prepared. You need to be getting stocked up. You need to have nascent iodine. All right, these are drops that you can take to absorb and fill your thyroid so it doesn't absorb any toxic chemicals released in an explosion like this. You can also get potassium iodide as well, right? And you also need to be stocking up on as much food as possible and growing as much food as possible.
See, there it goes. You know, always talking about some carnality, you know. But that was pretty much the point. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch this video for yourself. But that's one of the many, you know, possible boogeymans to you know, be on the lookout for. All right, nukes going off, pocket nukes. You know, which a pocket nuke is basically just a portable. Let me just look it up real quick. Just look it up real quick, because that's also being, you know, said and speculated with all these illegals, so-called illegals. Because we know by now, everyone knows by now that it's more than just those you know, northern kingdoms coming through, but it's all the nations: Ishmael, Moab, Ham. You know, all these nations are coming through, which America's been being infiltrated. You know, America's been infiltrated. All right, but everything is being set up perfectly. Everything's being put into place, you know, for the big event or events, you know. But I'm gonna just look up what a pocket nuke is real quick, because again, you know, it's being said that a lot of these so-called people, you know, immigrants coming through, hey, because when you look up what a pocket nuke is, it's just a suitcase nuclear device, also suitcase nuke, suitcase bomb, backpack nuke. A mini nuke is a tactical nuclear weapon that is portable enough that it could use a suitcase as its delivery method. So hey, who's to say that hey, you don't have a bunch of these pocket nukes? Because, you know, that's pretty much exactly, you know, what it, like I said, this is basically just a portable nuke, small enough that it can, you know, be carried around in the suitcase. Well, who's to say that you don't have a bunch of those here and there throughout the states, throughout America? You know, who's to say? Who's to say, man? You know, hey, something's getting ready to pop off. Something's getting ready to happen. All right. And this is just another one of those possible boogeyman scenarios. You know, just another one of those possible black swan event scenarios, man, or events. You know, hey, like I read, I'm gonna read it again in 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Life as we know it is about to change very drastically. It says, "Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer." And we touched on this this past Saturday at the camp, like, because again, the time is coming where we're just gonna have to be on the go. We're just gonna have to go. You know, it's gonna get so bad. And the one of the bishop elders, man, he did a video entitled something along the lines of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Listen, it's gonna get so bad out here that it's just gonna be so many things happening at once, bodies dropping out. We're not gonna have time to mourn for our loved ones. You know, we're not gonna have time to even look back. We're just gonna have to be on the go. It's gonna be one big adrenaline rush. That's how bad it's gonna be. It's gonna be intense. You know, it's gonna be extremely high intensity. Like I said, we're not gonna have time to. we're just gonna be on the go. You know, so we have to be ready. We have to be ready to just, hey, this is it. You know, and like I'd be saying, like, you know, this is why the Lord doesn't keep us attached to anything, because the more you're attached, the harder it is to detach. And we're coming into the time of detaching. And I always talk about how Jake is going to go back to them cribs. Jake is going to go back to them Jake is going to go back, running back to them little 2-bedroom apartments to get that PS5, you know, to get them Jordans, you know, to get that outfit that he never wore. Or he got the outfit he never got to flex. Jake is going to be, they're too attached. You know, they're too attached. You see? But something's going to happen to where things are going to change for the, again, very drastically and dramatically. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to end it out. In 1 John. Things are about to change, man. 1 John chapter 2, verse 17, it says, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So, you know, as the scriptures talk about the fashion of this world, the Lord is doing away with the fashion of this world, man. You know, all this shit that we see around about us, it's about to be different. It's about to be different. One day we're going to wake up and it's just going to be different. You know, total chaos, confusion, lamentation, calamities. You know, death, man, is going to be the new normal. It's going to get crazy out here, man. You know, there's going to be a new system. You're going to see people lining up by the masses to take that MOTB. Yeah, man, it's going to be dystopian. It's going to be a dystopian environment real soon. You know, but Lord willing, this is edifying. All praises to Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully, elect.